ESG refers to the environmental, social, and governance actions that a company takes, allowing investors, corporates, and stakeholders to evaluate a company's commitment to sustainability. Examples of environmental factors may include a reduction of greenhouse gas emissions, waste management, or increasing energy efficiency. The social factor can involve local social and economic development, human rights, or earning a social license to operate. Finally, governance may include the alignment of corporate and local stakeholders' goals or a commitment to good corporate governance. According to MSCI, a commitment to ESG can increase profitability, reduce tail risk, and reduce systematic risk within the mining industry.
The role of ESG is having a really dynamic impact at the board of directors, where their obligations are moving from a principles basis to regulatory. It's facilitating a whole change of culture through companies to really have an impact on the ground and at project level.
The massive conundrum that everybody is faced with today is trying to balance two things. The first is in allocating capital to an industry that hasn't had a perfect ESG track record and is also seen today as one that might not necessarily deserve that capital. On the other side of the equation, you've got the world which is planning to heavily invest to upgrade and secondarily green its infrastructure as part of the transition to a low carbon economy. That cannot be done without the raw materials that the resources industry produces. And therefore this conundrum is faced by everybody, whether it's regulators, whether it's governments, and also providers of capital. So it is necessary, therefore, for the industry, the mining industry, to be open and transparent and to embrace some of the challenges attached to reporting ESG metrics in order to get access to the capital that investors clearly want to give to the industry, but might be put off from doing so because they don't have the frameworks that they need to assess whether a company is doing a good thing. They know the raw materials are needed. Governments are telling them that the capital is there to make the underlying investments in that infrastructure, but something needs to close the gap. Digbee has a role in doing that.
Digbee ESG is an ESG disclosure platform for the mining industry. With a right-sized set of frameworks, it simplifies ESG disclosure.
What we've done is we've taken that knowledge of what is going on in that sustainability standard world, coupled with our knowledge of the mining sector, and we've brought the two together.
Through standardized and easy to understand reports for the comparison of companies and projects across the sector. This brings matters to the board level and facilitates changes on the ground. By indicating the direction of travel and a balance sheet of opportunities and threats. With scores designed to be objective, future-looking, and freely accessible.
A digital ESG presence allows mining companies to reach out and have engagement with their local stakeholders, insurers, fund managers, and others.
Companies like Adriatic Metals have to earn their license to operate within a local community. We're going to be there for decades and we need to preserve that license to operate, which means we have to have a solid foundation for that relationship, and we must continue that relationship very actively and very deliberately with our local community to ensure that there is that trust in the company and trust that we will do everything in our power to ensure that this mine integrates fully into their local community and minimises any negative impacts that it may have on either their community, their natural environment, or their built-up environment.
The companies, have for many years had to incorporate ESG because it is a necessity of operating and doing business within the country. What they now need to do is to showcase that in a format that allows people to look at companies through the same lens.
The roadmap that's established, the Digbee analysis, mining companies understand exactly what they need to do to take their current relationships into the 21st century and beyond. You need to establish that trust, but beyond that, it gives them the ability to understand their risks and deliver benefits to all stakeholders in ways the industry has never done before.
Asking the right pertinent questions and having an independent assessment allows greenwashing to be tackled head-on, ensuring that we can address best practice in operations and in the boardroom, while also allowing boards of directors to feel comfortable that a cultural change within that company can drive ESG forward in a positive way throughout.
Mining has the potential to be amongst the most valued services in society. Mining provides essential goods. Mining projects are a source of very good paying jobs, critical infrastructure, major boosts to local economies. In 2019, the mining industry recorded less fatalities than the leisure industry, hospitality, education, and wholesale trade. Yet in many ways, a lot of people consider mining to be a necessary evil.
The case needs to be made more loudly that you cannot have a green energy revolution without mining more metals, and the right metals. So one of the great things that we can do at Tungsten West is mine very responsibly in a Western world economy in a sustainable way where we make the minimum impact on the environment that's possible.
Currently, we don't have anywhere near enough raw materials in circulation in order to be able to build infrastructure such as wind turbines, photovoltaics, batteries, electric vehicles. We don't have enough copper or nickel or cobalt or rare earth elements, graphite, lithium, etc. in circulation to be able to build this infrastructure.
There is a growing appetite for investors to invest in the mining industry who are going to produce the products needed for the world's transition to a sustainable future, but only if management can adhere to best practice and also show independently a credible means of tracking ESG.
ESG is here. It is here to stay. The investors are here, the regulators are here, and now the exploration companies can show that we've always been here and be rewarded for showing that we are managing those ESG threats, but also taking advantage of those opportunities for the future.
Management are looking for opportunities to not only mitigate the risks, but also to improve perception as a whole within society.
The industry needs an independent body to be able to have credibility in the way that it engages with everybody it interacts with. And at the moment, that body doesn't exist. And so the role of a group like Digbee is to fulfill that. It will create a format for engagement, for debate, for communication and interconnectivity across all of the different vested interests. And to do that in a way that is impartial with independent and third-party analysis shouldn't scare the mining industry. The mining industry should embrace that, because if they can reach a point where that credibility is awarded to them through a process that is viewed to be fair and not conflicted, then that will help everybody to go forward.
Well, if mining can truly find, extract, process, sell, and in the meantime act as positive stewards of the land beneath our feet, if mining can do that in a responsible manner, then we will be able to stand a chance of going through our energy transition in a sustainable way.
The era we live in is unparalleled in the opportunities and challenges we face. This intersection between innovation and environmental degradation demands that we work together to develop creative solutions to complex problems. As a key player in the world's transition to renewable energy, the mining industry is more important than ever before. With ESG catalyzing positive change for both the mining sector and the wider global community, the mining industry is here, as a partner in the pursuit of a sustainable future for all.